for Matt's confidence to woo the opposite sex is that he doesn't leave anything to chance. Gentlemen, are you listening? The secret to Matt's success is that he's followed a very strict regime of grooming. I've been told that every morning he'll be found with a pair of hair straighteners, something he would struggle to do now. And when he arrived in our home last September, Matt brought his beauty products with him. Let's just say that his bronze glow wasn't the result of a British summer. And it took toothpaste, whitening paste, mouthwash and several other products to achieve his gleaming smile. I've noticed that the regime's disappeared recently, but that's since Rachel put the ring on my finger, so maybe those days are over. But how can we account for such behaviour? What childhood experiences can we look to explain his obsession with looking so good? Was it the many times that his sisters painted his toenails?
Probably.
Well, I don't think that goes far enough, Matt. Friends, I think it has to do with a rather dark chapter of the Lollars family history. I believe it has to do with the result of the systematic indoctrination by his sisters that Matt was in fact a girl. Not knowing the truth, Matt spent the first 6 years of his life being told that one day he would turn into a woman. And even the loving reassurances of his mother did little to sort out the confusion, as his sisters would just say that she was lying. We can only hope, friends, that one day Matt will no longer get so excited at the thought of a night in with some bubble bath and scented candles. Matt is wonderfully contradictory, refusing to let himself be stereotyped. Both a man of manicures and a man of the football field. Many of you will know that he's a man of action. His high school days were spent as a true jock, both playing baseball, American football, and even a black belt in karate. If you want to see him play, make sure you watch the Sheffield Warriors. And if you have no idea how the game works, you can speak to some of our guests who will explain the finer points of the game. Isn't that right, Griff?
Yes, we know the finer points.
And if you're still struggling to understand the game, I have two words: glorified violence. You have been warned. It would be unfair of me to paint Matt as some mindless meathead, as he's much more than that. He's a mindless meathead with a big heart. Matt loves people. He loves them well and he loves them keenly. The guys on the football field call him Bubba, which means brother, and he is that to many people. And Sherry and Jenny have told me of times when Matt would come to the rescue of others. The kind of guy you want in a crisis, as long as it's not his own. You see, Matt's love is very real. It's very much in your face, telling you truths that you'd rather not hear. Matt doesn't shy away from conflict. It's not to say he starts it, but he says what he thinks. And whilst the British psyche has trouble with that sometimes, thinks of him a bit abrasive, I think that such conviction is refreshing and necessary. If Matt ever asks you why something is the way it is, you better be careful not to give a superficial answer, because he'll tell you what he thinks, he'll tell you to your face. He questions and he challenges, and he dares to do so as one who's keen to find the truth about life. Doing things because that's how they've always been done doesn't sit easily with him. Hypocrisy is another of his pet hates. He gets annoyed at injustice. And whilst I hope that he'll continue to learn how to be more gentle when he says the things he says, I hope that life won't stop this Brillo pad in human form from rubbing people up the wrong way. It's his way of loving people. Furthermore, Matt loves hero stories. It's interesting to note that his favourite films include such heroic characters such as Gladiator, Saving Private Ryan, Braveheart and Shrek. But I think I can speak for Matt on this one, that he would rather not be the hero of his own story, because his most favourite story of all is of someone who wasn't that heroic in ways that people would recognise. He wasn't macho or powerful, and indeed he died a grisly death on the cross outside of Jerusalem. You see, if you really want to understand Matt, then you need to understand this, that he's driven by a desire to honour his hero, Christ Jesus. Now, many of the things that many things that he's concerned about are the things that Christ is concerned about. On his weblog, Matt puts a rather weird list that might seem to some people as quite weird, but to those of us who know Christ, it's one that makes perfect sense. You see, Matt's interests are these: the stressed, the sick, the helpless, the drunk, the lowly, and the needy. People with whom Matt identifies with because he knows how he is broken and how much he needs a saviour. See, Matt's made a number of mistakes in his life, and Rachel knows that, I think. But both he and Rachel believe that Christ has saved them from the consequences of those mistakes, that he saved them from an inevitability of a life full of cock-ups. And when I asked the newly named Mrs. Loller what word she would use to describe Matt, she ummed and ahed a bit, and then she settled on the word gracious, adding that he likes to give and receive grace. Now, this is what I love most about my friend Matt Loller. He loves grace and he loves extending grace. He has a very keen sense of the fact that he has been forgiven much, and he wants to offer that forgiveness to others and to point them to the one who can offer them 100% forgiveness. And if the measure of a man is how much he loves God, then Matthew Walter Loller is very big.